As the new year begins, I'm sure many of us are going to hope for a very fruitful self-development journey this year. I certainly am. And to celebrate that fact, I wrote down 20 life lessons that I learned last year that I wish I would have known a year prior. These 20 have had a severe impact on how I view life, and I hope you find something worth thinking about in them as well. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Number 1. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This shows in academia, sports, business, and especially dating. If you want a 10, you have to be a 10. If you want to build a thriving business, you're gonna have to be really good at it. Momentarily, many people are able to fake their competence, but in the long run, only the people who truly deserve it get it. Number 2. Learning to waste time and do nothing is a really important skill. Many of us Type A people are guilty of not being able to slow down. We just do and do and do and don't stop until we are forced to stop. I ran into this problem on the Christmas holiday as I just came from a very busy fall into a full stop at Christmas time. And I felt so uncomfortable doing nothing. For a few days I felt so anxious, like something was gonna happen and I wasn't preparing for it. But after a few days my body started to relax and understand that nothing was gonna happen and it was alright to take a break. And to be honest, I needed that break. We all do. And that's exactly what happens when you overwork and then you're forced to stop. The state of being on high alert becomes the norm, and slowing down feels so uncomfortable you feel like you can't stop. So you end up running yourself down even further. Here's a really good quote I found on this matter. If you don't choose a moment to rest, your body will choose it for you, and it's likely to be a really inconvenient time. You have to be able to slow down once in a while and do nothing, and rest. And yes, it can feel uncomfortable, but I promise, once you get past that barrier, it'll get better. Number 3. You need all 4 levels of friendship. A lot of people tend to think that you should avoid shallow connections and only focus on the deeper ones. But that's not entirely true. You should have acquaintances, people you can call if you need to borrow a trailer or if you need help on something, and you'll of course return the favor to them once they call. A wide network of people makes you rich in more ways than one. You should also have casual friends. These are people who you can call your friends, but they're not your close friends. You invite them to parties and call back and forth once in a while, but they're not your closest friends. But you also need close friends. These are the selective few who you really know have your back. These are people who tell you secrets and you know you can count on. And lastly, we have the intimate friendship. And this is of course your partner in life. Relationships are after all 90% friendship. The rest is basically smart, but we're not gonna get into that right now. Your life partner should be your closest friend. Simple as that. Number 4. A great partner is the best investment. In the modern hookup, casual dating scene, this absolutely shows. It's kind of like buying crypto. It could blow up, but likely you're just gonna end up losing all your money. Because when you give time you could put into yourself for someone who doesn't deserve it, you're trading your time for cheap attention. The ability to stay single and work on yourself until you find the person who's really yours is truly rare currency in today's world, but one that is incredibly powerful and will provide you the best life partner possible. Just like in investing, playing the long game is the surest path to success. Number 5. Your environment is a reflection of you. Your environment reflects your personal state, your emotions, your energy, and the way you respond to things. This applies to relationships, pets, and the world around us. And no, you aren't solely responsible for your environment, but the way you respond to things speaks louder than your environment. You choose how you respond to challenges. You choose how you treat those close to you, whether you come home angry or calm. And your decision on how to respond to your environment reflects on how it responds back to you. Number 6. Playing the long game is the surest way to success. Patience is a surprisingly rare quality in us humans, but one that really does pay off. Playing for the long run is the surest way to live a healthy, happy, and successful life. And this applies to almost every area of life. Your career, your studies, relationships, friendships, personal life, exercising, all of it. And few people actually think 5, 10 or even 20 years ahead. But I think more of us should have that foresight. Number 7. Making memories is the purpose of life. Have you ever sat at dinner with an elderly person who's had such a vast recollection of memories to share from their adventures and their youth and their holidays. Now that is a rich life. I'm not telling you to dismiss work, but sometimes going beyond that and actually fucking around and finding out is gonna create the best memories. Part of life is making memories, going on trips and saying yes to things, experiencing the world. That's life. I've found that saying yes to things and being able to let loose has dramatically made my life much, much richer. Do things you want to do, go on trips, do stupid things. That is how you live a rich and fulfilling life. Number 8. We are all different. To find one right path for everyone is kind of like deciding which car is the best for everyone. We all have different needs and preferences, and understanding and respecting that has made me a much happier person. Understand that we all have our unique ways and cherish that. If you expect a dog to be a cat, you'll be disappointed time and time again. Number 9. Seek fulfillment, not happiness. Happiness is often a temporary positive emotion from pleasure or achieving goals, while fulfillment is a deeper, lasting sense of purpose, meaning, and satisfaction from living in alignment with your values, growth, and contributing to something bigger than yourself. If you find fulfillment, you'll find happiness. But happiness is only temporary. Pursuing it over fulfillment is gonna lead to a life that's short of meaning. Pursuing happiness is only a short-term fix and will leave you with a sense of unsatisfaction and an empty feeling that needs attention. Focus on living your best life, a thriving career, dreams followed, and a rich life, and you will find fulfillment and happiness all in one. Number 10. It's the simple things in life that bring happiness. A cup of coffee in the morning, seeing a friend, hitting a milestone on the way to your goals, and the absolutely beautiful way the sunshine hits the window of your house. There's so much beauty and joy around us, but we often dismiss them. Choosing to dismiss the positive and focus on the negative is the surest way to live a miserable life. It's those small things and moments that bring happiness. This is something often not shown on social media. Popular influencers post their lavish trips and lifestyle, but after all, that is just noise. If you want to see true beauty and find happiness in life, it's in your everyday life. You just have to open your eyes and see. Number 11. Life is beautiful for those who slow down to see. It's beams of sunlight hitting your kitchen in the morning, the beautiful golden brown leaves falling from the trees, and an old couple walking down the street in love. It's those little moments that make life so beautiful, yet it's so hard to see. But the only thing you have to do is slow down and appreciate it. Number 12. Following the flow of life will get you where you need to be. Have you ever found yourself in a position where you initially didn't want to be, only to realize afterwards that was the best thing that could have happened to you? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Trusting that things will work out and not letting small inconveniences ruin my day has been a major change in my life and has permanently changed the way I see life and made me much, much happier. Number 13. To feel fulfilled, you need to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, you will never have enough. You'll end up chasing something you don't even know if you want in the first place, just because society told you to. The story of Otto von Bismarck is really fitting here. He knew when to stop, and thanks to it, he got to enjoy Germany as a whole for the rest of his time. If you don't know what you want, you will never stop, because you will never get enough. Number 14. Know when to pull back. Coming back to the quote I said earlier, if you don't choose a moment to rest, your body will choose it for you, and it's likely going to be a really inconvenient time. Exhausting yourself mentally is likely only going to produce mediocre results. It's like trying to run a marathon in sprints. It A, looks absolutely idiotic, and B, won't get you the best results. Remember to rest before you burn out. You need to do it frequently, and you need to rest enough. You need to both sleep enough and do things that recharge you. Number 15. Dare to be different. Being different can be uncomfortable. You'll stand out and you'll have less friends. But I've found that you also find better friends. People who are worth caring about. And you'll be an individual, not just another face in the crowd. And oddly enough, people respect you when you are yourself. Because a lot of people don't feel like they can be themselves. They're afraid of judgment, but don't let that fear control you. You'll never be happy in someone else's skin, so do your own thing. Number 16. Own your flaws. I think Tyrion Lannister said very wisely, never forget who you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor, and it can be never used against you. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't work on yourself, but there are certain things we can control. Height, facial structure, family background, all of that is out of our control. If you own these aspects, they are no longer weaknesses, just a part of you. Number 17. Learning how to get up is more important than never falling down. I think the difference between winners and losers is how they handle mistakes. If you one day want to be a winner, you have to learn from your mistakes. Just get up, try again, until you succeed. And a lot of people stop right when it stops being fun and easy. And I get it, it's uncomfortable failing. But if you really want to become a winner, then you have to push past that. And I promise you, once you fail enough, it doesn't feel like anything anymore. Number 18. Face yourself. There will come a time in your life where you make a bad call and you have to take a hard look in the mirror and contemplate your own flaws. If you don't do that and you run from your flaws, they will come up again. To improve as a person is to look at your own flaws, be kind to yourself, and work on them. And we are all gonna make mistakes in our life. But redeeming those mistakes and trying to be the best person is the only way to get past them. Number 19. Life moves in seasons. You will have times in your life you want to skip, and times you wish you lasted forever. So, just like a book, you can't skip any chapters. You have to read every word of every chapter, and just like in life, you have to live every moment of it. But note this, what you do in your low points reflects on your high points. If you really work on yourself and do your best to improve as a person, your life will likely improve as well. There's a lot of good in knowing that bad times don't last forever. And that's something to be grateful for. And last but not least, number 20. To live is to risk it all. In my opinion, a life without risk isn't a life worth living for. If you want to meet someone, you have to take the risk of being turned down. If you want to learn something, you have to take the risk of failing. To succeed is to make all the mistakes so there are none for you to make anymore. And making mistakes isn't fun. You can feel humiliated and you can feel like a failure. You can feel like you just aren't good enough. But I promise you this, if you never try, you will never succeed. As one of my favorite quotes says, no risk, no Porsche. That was a long list. Most of these lessons were things that I had to learn last year. And I think learning lessons when you're young is fantastic. Because if you understand all of these, you will be ahead of 99% of people. Because most people don't want to face failure. And here's some homework for you. Choose one of these 20 lessons and try to integrate it into your own life. Write down how you're gonna actively make it a part of your everyday life. I really hope you learned something from this video. The point was to give you more of an idea of what to think about and how to implement it into your own life. As always, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.